Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 48 of my 2025 bodybuilding prep series. My name is Zach, and this is the third, let me make sure that's right, third pull session, yes, of this mesocycle. So we've done one full week of accumulation, and then we've just completed our second half week, or I guess first half week of the second week. Let's make it as confusing as possible talking about weeks right now. I think there's 7 days a week, but really these are only 6 days of training. So what does that even mean? I don't know. There's one extra day. Where's it go? I'll never tell. But I am going to tell you guys about some markers of hypertrophy stimulus. Got my boy Jay here. Unfortunately, he's not recording with me tonight, but we still got him in the video here today, showing off some form. Maybe I can remember some of the cues we were talking about, and then we can discuss some of that stuff. But let's see, how am I feeling? So biceps are actually pretty sore. We'll talk about the movements here in a minute, but biceps are like maybe 5 out of 10 as far as delayed onset muscle soreness. Lats got super duper pumped, and right now they're feeling like a 4 or 5 as well. And this is actually the day after. I'm recording this the day after this, so it's kind of crazy actually that they're feeling this sore still, especially given what we mentioned in our previous episode about getting sore or getting less sore whenever you're in a hypocaloric diet. So it's kind of interesting that I'm feeling that way. But yeah, upper back got stimulated quite a bit better in this last one than it did in either of the sessions of the first week. But yeah, starting off here with some warm-ups on our barbell curls. The reason, I don't even know if we mentioned the reason he's using dumbbells here is if a dumbbell is 45 pounds, or a barbell is 45 pounds, at least the one I'm using here. It's a Ohio bar from Rogue. And if your working weight's going to be close to like 40 pounds, you wouldn't exactly want to warm up with more than your working weight. So I think he's doing the 10s there, so it's like 20-pound load total. And then I think he did the 15s on his actual sets. So in that case, we would pick something that's like, you would do maybe 6 to 8 reps, something like that. But you certainly don't want to go heavier, unless you're doing something like a potentiation set. That would be different, but you would still work up from much lighter than that to start with on your earlier warm-up sets. But these bicep curls are feeling very nice. Starting to really dial in the form on these guys. We talked about before the cue of lifting from like the ring finger and the pinky finger and trying to almost bend the bar, like supinate the bar. That helps me really isolate the bicep on the movement. Of course, the mid-back is keeping you stable, you know what I mean? You got some back activation. Delts are definitely firing a little bit, front delts especially when you're pulling that bar up. But then on the way down, let's look here. Yeah, so nice and smooth on the way up, and then just controlling it and getting the barbell to kind of like scrape forward a little bit. Nothing too crazy, you don't want to go over the top and then have it be like a negative on a front raise with your palms facing up. It'll become really awkward, but just enough to where you get a really gnarly stretch in the bicep and then going all the way through the full range of motion on those. That's kind of what I've been aiming for, and it's feeling very, very good doing it that way. So highly recommend that. And then for Jay here, we were just queuing up some supination. We were just working together trying to figure out what form is going to be best for him on these like standing curls, especially because he's not going to use the barbell So we wanted to figure out the dumbbells best for him, but that's just what's going on here. Now, how are we doing as far as our diet? So I actually dropped the deficit from 150 to 250 because I was stalled out for maybe like 3 days there. Nothing changed on the scale, and that's a little weird, especially when you're only in the second week of the diet. I'm still kind of like, at this point, I am well and truly not completely depleted, but I'm definitely in that realm, because I've probably lost, what would it be, around a pound of body fat probably so far. Significant amount. A pound of fat is quite a bit. So hopefully looking to lose maybe like 4 to 5 of those. It'll probably be closer to 4, and then we'll do a little maintenance calories for a week just to bring the metabolism back up. Because one of the things that I think a lot of people don't know is that your metabolism is like processes that both produce and utilize energy in your body that your cells undergo. Respiration and production of ATP, and there's a myriad of different cells and different functions, but basically when you intake dietary nutrition, foods, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, all this stuff, your metabolism increases because you're having to metabolize the things that you're ingesting. Hopefully you're metabolizing them. I guess if there's something really bad going on, you might not be metabolizing, or if you're choosing food combinations, that there's certain like hacks you can do as far as pairing foods together to try to get a little more digestion. But essentially, if you start eating fewer and fewer and fewer calories, if you do that long enough, your metabolism is going to slow down, because you're literally slowing it down. It's like when you're eating a lot, you're like pressing on the gas pedal, the car's speeding up. The car's your metabolism. Once you start letting off, you bring the food back, metabolism slows down. So you don't want it to stall out, and then your diet ends up on the side of the highway and you have to get towed. That's a bad situation to be in. So trying to take it nice and easy. I mentioned it before. I'm only at 250 deficit. That's about half a pound a week of fat. Of course, when I first started, I lost a lot very fast because I'm losing extra storage carbohydrates that have water associated with them. So a lot of that weight is water, essentially. But yeah, I'm holding at 178 pounds right now. I put out that physique update yesterday. If you guys didn't see that, go ahead and check that video out. Did a little pump check after this pull session is actually what that was. So it's pretty neat, pretty cool. Starting to see, I can already tell, that's one of the reasons I know the diet's working, is because just looking at my physique, I can already tell that there's some changes taking place. So very happy about that. Now let's get into performance here on those curls. So the last session it was the same load, 50 pounds. I got 11, 9, and 7. And then I think I did, we got the same thing here, but I added some volume starting this week. And so I'm doing, this must be my third set then. So this is 7 reps here. We can watch and see if it looks like 3 hour. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, nice and slow on the way down. Pushing the hands out a little bit. Full stretch at the bottom. And I try not to wait too long. Try not to rest too long at the bottom there. Yeah, straight back up. That big squeeze at the top with the ring finger and the pinky. Down to a stretch. Oh yeah, it's slowing down. Yep, power path is definitely slowing down there. Okay, yeah, and then so here's what I was just talking about. I added some volume here, so that's a drop set at 45 pounds, and I got 8 on that one. So yeah, let's look at these bad boys too. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, so I think I forgot to mention that in the, I guess because I didn't look at it, but in the markers of hypertrophy stimulus, that's probably another reason my biceps are a little more sore than they were before. But also, like I mentioned before, the longer you do an exercise, the more comfortable you're probably going to get with it, the better you're going to get at doing it the way you need to do it to stimulate the target muscle. So you just get better and better. And that's the thing about, training and giving the same exercise some time, especially with frequency, some good frequency in there where you're doing this similar exercise, weeks at a time. You build up technique, skill, basically, and then it just becomes a more effective exercise. Unless, of course, it just totally disagrees with your anatomy. It just feels like it's the wrong target muscle being worked, and it's not even working it well, and it hurts real bad. That's then it's just no good. I would try something different, but otherwise, I like to give things some time. So, moving on here to the chest-supported dumbbell rows, and these bad boys, just like the barbell curls, they're starting to feel very, very good. I think 35 pounds is that's like a crisp, 10 to 15 rep range there. I'll probably work through that weight maybe up until like the last week or two of the mesocycle, and then I'll perhaps go ahead and move the weight up a little bit, because I'm already doing 13. I guess we can get into performance here. 13, 11, and 9 on the 3 sets here of these dumbbell rows. And in the last session, I also did 13, 11, 9. So we're holding steady there. It'll probably be the same situation during these this next upcoming pull day. Let's see, tomorrow morning's legs, then we got push day, and then pull day. So, 2 days from now, we'll be hitting these guys again. And I'll probably keep the same weight. Maybe we'll go up to 40 pounds. I think we'll go up to 40 pounds the next week, because that's going to be 2 RR. So we'll try to push and keep the same reps, but with a heavier load. We'll see, though, because that actually, percentage-wise, going from 35 pounds to 40 pounds per arm is actually a pretty hefty increase. What is that? Oh, boy. So 5-pound addition, that's what? 5 is 30% of... No. 5 times 6 is 30, right? Oh gosh, no maths. Alright, no, I'm not even going to try to do it. 13, 11, 9, pretty good performance. Happy with that. And let's see, what kind of cues were I thinking about? What were I thinking cues here? Yes. What was it? I know for sure, trying to stretch at the bottom there, letting the dumbbell tip forward. A little pouring action down at the bottom. And then a nice, not a super fast acceleration on the way up, but just pulling out of it strong, trying to pull from the elbows, pulling out of it strong, and then accelerating to the top. I could hold the squeeze a little more at the top, but I prefer to just start letting my back handle the eccentric stretch from there. Basically, you can see where I kind of switch to, the tempo completely changes, like boom, and just drooping down that big stretch, and that feels great. Like I said, these are starting to really get cracked for me on this one, so they'll be staying in. I'm trying to think, did we have anything going here for Jay? I know his tempo is just out of this world. Going super slow in these guys. That's got to be, I think I did ask him, and it was starting to burn pretty good for him, so that's a good sign that, we got something going on there. I'm trying to think, there was something else. Yes, I've noticed that I've been getting sore later than usual. Instead of, like when I was massing, and this kind of wraps into that whole thing I was talking about, cutting and not getting as sore. When I was massing, I would get sore like that day. Like if I did legs, by the evening that day, I would already be starting to feel sore. So it's kind of interesting, like, my triceps right now are like a 7 out of 10, and it's been 2 full days. Normally, when I was massing, like 2 full days after, and then, like, the third day, I would still feel a little bit of soreness, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to train, it's so sore. It would just be like, oh, I still kind of feel it, But this is 2 days later, and I'm like, I would not want to train my triceps right now. They're too sore for that. So it's kind of interesting, this like slower recovery. I don't know if that's a known phenomena. If you guys know, put a comment, let me know. I've never heard of that, but there seems to be some sort of slower recovery here with a hypocaloric diet. What else? Oh, hunger drive. Yeah, the hunger drive is starting to really creep up on me. How long have I been? Let's see. I've been in a deficit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 12 days, so nearly 2 weeks now. So that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably why I'm also starting to feel depleted, which that's pretty cool, actually. Is that? Let me see. So that's going to be, I guess, no, okay, that makes sense. So then 5 weeks, I think a 5-week cut, that shouldn't be too bad. I'm probably going to be pretty lean, though. And it's making me wonder if I might need to go ahead and do like a mini bulk at some point, or just stay maintenance longer. I guess we'll see, guys. I'll keep putting out physique updates and updating you guys with what's going on there as far as losing. It's pretty sick, and I try not to brag too much on the diet or go too hard on the diet. I might make a specific series about diet and my specific diet, why I eat the foods I eat, food selection, all that kind of stuff, how I pair meals. But that's a topic for a different video. But I do think that my diet is playing a role in kind of making the cutting a little more bearable. And that's because I eat a ton of vegetables. So like tonight, I should have taken a picture of it, but I scarfed it so fast. It's like a huge white plate, like as big as your diameter, big as your head. And half of it is tofu with like a garlic sauce. And then another quarter of it is a big heap of oven roasted broccoli. And then another quarter of it is a bunch of like pretty small diced sauteed carrots with salt, garlic powder, and turmeric. Super duper good, like 2 cups of diced carrots. So that's like a ton. Like I'm pretty full and satisfied, but it's at the point now, just because of the deficit, that before each meal, I'm like starting to feel that like I'm hungry right now. Like it's definitely time to eat. And so, unfortunately, that's just kind of one of the aspects of doing something like this, and that's usually where, in my opinion, that's usually where people fail or they end up not meeting the goals that they set for themselves, is they'll accidentally eat too much calories and be either maintaining or in a surplus. And so if you want to guarantee that you're going to lose fat week by week, and it is something where you have to be, at least 4 out of 7 days a week, you need to be in a deficit. And if you're too much over those other days, it might even wipe out the deficit. So you really do need to track and, watch what you're eating, especially because you don't want to go too deep into a deficit. Because if you go too deep and you're not eating enough protein, because if you go super deep, there's only so many carbs and fats you can lose until you start losing out on protein too. Just based on, unless you're just eating like some sort of isolate protein or something, and that's all you're eating, which I'm not even sure what that would do to you. That would probably be bad. Probably wouldn't be very fun either, but if you go too deep into a deficit, you could end up wasting muscle. Essentially, your body will use muscle as energy or for whatever other, or the fine balance between muscle protein synthesis and muscle protein breakdown will start weighing in favor of breakdown, and then oops, now you're catabolic most of the time and you're going to start losing muscle. But your whole goal is to be like jacked and be a bodybuilder, and that's not good. So I try not to go super deep. And the nice thing about using some sort of software, like an application, like Chronometer is what I use. I'm not sponsored by Chronometer, although that would be pretty sick. It's really nice because it auto adjusts as I'm losing weight. When I do the weigh-ins, I put it into the app, and then it will automatically adjust the calories based on my new weight. So it's really nice. It just auto-adjusts through the course of the diet. And then I set it at minus 250 calories, which is half a pound a week, but it's probably going to end up being more just because I don't, at this point in my cut, like when I get close to competition, I'm going to be weighing everything on a scale. But at this point, I'm still kind of eyeballing things. I'll eyeball, a cup of rice or something like that. And it's just, that's because I have experience doing it. If you don't have a lot of experience, you might want to try weighing, like actually measuring things. And then when you see what it looks like on a plate, like if you measure out a cup of broccoli or something into a measuring cup and then put it on a plate and then kind of like just shush it out a little bit, move them around, you know what I'm saying? You can see what it looks like to have a cup of broccoli. Same with like if you got tofu or beans or whatever it is you're measuring out, put it on a plate and it gives you a visual representation of what that looks like. And then in the apps, it makes it easier because you can be like, it's about a cup, or maybe that's like 3/4 cups, 0.75 cup. It's so the more experience you get with it, the easier it's going to be for you. Okay, so we have changed exercises here. We're moving on to alright, I'm calling them chin-ups today. I think these are chin-ups. How did we do on these bad boys? They were super toasty because I added a set to them. Yeah, that's what I did. So I got 11 and 9, and then 11 and 9 last session. And here on the first set, I got 11, and the second set, I actually only got 8. And I think I mean, who knows? I can't account for that rep, but it felt like I was getting to like 2 RIR, and that's fine. I lost a single rep, but then we did add in an extra set here using a heavier band. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is the set right now. It's on the J cups there on the rack. So, but doing this final set, having that extra powerful resistance at the bottom made it to where I could do 8 reps there, and my lats were just exploding. Like I said, check out that physique update and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about there. It was pretty gnarly. So yeah, it was a great pull session, interesting stuff. Had a great time lifting with Jay. I might have another guest soon lifting with me out there, and cheers to you all. Stay hydrated, okay? And just try to take it easy, enjoy life. You know what I mean? You never know when memento mori. You never know when it's gonna happen, but every living creature will die eventually. So take time, hug the people you love, kiss them, tell them you love them, and I love anyone that watches all the way up to this point in the video. So thank you all, and I hope you have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow for leg day. Bye, guys.